Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into 10 mindful eating habits that truly transform my relationship with food. For years I struggled with mindless eating, emotional eating, you name it. I'd be at the bottom of a bag of chips before I even realized I'd opened it. It wasn't until I discovered the power of mindfulness that things began to change. Each habit we're going to talk about today is backed by why it works, the science behind it, and how it can help you break free from unhealthy patterns. And stay tuned for a bonus tip on how these habits help me manage stress and curb binge eating. Let's get started. The first habit, and this one might surprise you, is eating without distractions. Now, I know what you're thinking. You eat lunch at your desk, dinner in front of the TV. We're all busy, but trust me, this one change can make a world of difference. When we eat with our phones buzzing, the TV blaring, or our minds racing about work, we're not really present with our food. We're missing out on the taste, the texture, the aroma, those beautiful sensory experiences that make eating so pleasurable. But more importantly, when we're distracted, we don't pay attention to our body's cues: hunger, fullness, satisfaction. We eat on autopilot, often consuming far more than we need without even realizing it. Think about it. Have you ever finished a bag of popcorn at the movies, only to realize you weren't even hungry? That's mindless eating in action. So my challenge to you is this. For your next meal, create a calm and inviting space. Turn off the screen, silence your phone, and just focus on the food in front of you. Really savor each bite, paying attention to the flavors and textures. You'll be amazed at how much more satisfying your meal becomes, and you might even find yourself eating less without even trying. This isn't about deprivation, it's about truly enjoying and honoring the food we put into our bodies. It's about reconnecting with the simple act of nourishment and rediscovering the joy of eating. Let's talk about another game changer: chewing slowly and thoroughly. Now, I know this might sound a little, basic, but in our fast-paced world, how often do we really take the time to chew our food properly? We're shoveling down bites between meetings, inhaling lunch on the go, but here's the thing. Chewing isn't just about breaking down food, it's the first step in the digestive process. When we chew slowly and thoroughly, we give our digestive system a head start. Our saliva mixes with the food, breaking it down more efficiently, which can help prevent bloating, indigestion, and other digestive woes. But it goes beyond that. Chewing slowly also allows your brain to catch up with your stomach. See, it takes about 20 minutes for your brain to register that you're full. When we wolf down our food, we often eat past our body's natural satiety signals, leading to the overstuffed, uncomfortable feeling. But here's the beautiful thing. When we slow down and savor each bite, we give our bodies a chance to catch up. We start to notice those subtle cues of fullness, that feeling of gentle satisfaction that tells us we've had enough. And that, my friends, is the key to ending the cycle of overeating and finding a place of balance and peace with food. Now, this next habit is all about tapping into your inner wisdom. It's about learning to recognize your body's hunger cues and eating with intention. We're talking about checking in with your hunger levels before you eat. You see, so often we eat for reasons other than true physical hunger. We eat because we're stressed, bored, tired, or simply because it's time to eat. We eat out of habit, not necessity. But here's a powerful tool. Before you reach for that snack or sit down to a meal, take a moment to pause and ask yourself, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being starving and 10 being uncomfortably full, where am I right now? This simple question can be incredibly revealing. It helps you become more aware of your body's signals and make conscious choices about when and how much to eat. If you find yourself at a 1 or 2, you're likely famished, and it's important to nourish your body. But if you're at a 6, 7, or 8, you might be mistaking thirst for hunger. Have a glass of water, wait a bit, and see how you feel. And if you're at a 3 or 4, that's your sweet spot. That's when you're comfortably hungry, ready to enjoy your meal without feeling ravenous or restricted. Chapter 4. Portion control, small changes, big impact. Let's talk about portion control. Now, I'm not talking about deprivation or measuring out every grain of rice. It's not about that at all. This is about making mindful choices that support your well-being. You see, in today's world, we're bombarded with supersized portions, overflowing plates, and the constant temptation to clean our plates. But here's the thing. Our stomachs aren't designed to handle those massive quantities, and over time, consistently overeating can stretch our stomachs, leading to increased hunger and potential weight gain. So how do we navigate this? It's simpler than you think. Start by using smaller plates. That's right, those salad plates, they're your new best friend. A smaller plate tricks your brain into thinking you're eating more than you actually are, helping you feel more satisfied with less food. Another helpful tip is to serve yourself reasonable portions instead of putting all the food on the table, family style. This allows you to pause and reassess before going back for seconds, rather than mindlessly piling more food onto your plate. Chapter 5. Engage your senses, elevate your meal. Have you ever really stopped to appreciate the symphony of sensations that come with eating? The vibrant colors of a fresh salad, the tantalizing aroma of spices dancing in the air, the satisfying crunch of a crisp apple. These are the gifts that mindful eating unlocks. When we engage all 5 senses, sight, smell, taste, touch, and even sound, we elevate the entire eating experience. Suddenly, food becomes more than just fuel. It becomes a source of pleasure, a sensory delight. Think about it, the way a ripe strawberry glistens in the light, the intoxicating scent of freshly baked bread, the way the warmth of a comforting soup spreads through your body. These are the moments that make eating truly enjoyable. And here's the best part. When we savor our food with all our senses, something magical happens. We become more present, more attuned to our body's cues. And often we find that we're satisfied with less. We start to appreciate quality over quantity, and the simple act of eating becomes a mindful meditation. Chapter 6. The power of the pause. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, how often do we rush through meals without coming up for air? We inhale our food, our minds racing with to-do lists and worries. But what if I told you that one of the simplest yet most profound things you can do is to simply pause mid-meal? That's right, halfway through your plate, put your fork down, take a deep breath, and just check in with yourself. How does your body feel? Are you starting to feel comfortably full? What flavors are you noticing? This simple act of pausing can be a game changer. It breaks the cycle of automatic eating, allowing you to reconnect with your body's cues and make conscious choices about whether to continue eating or stop. Think of it as a mini meditation, a moment to pause, reflect, and reconnect with the present moment. It's a chance to savor the flavors, appreciate the nourishment, and listen to your body's wisdom. Now, let's talk about something many of us have a complicated relationship with: treat foods. You know, those often forbidden indulgences we label as good or bad. But here's the thing, labeling food creates a sense of deprivation, which can lead to cravings and overeating later on. It becomes a vicious cycle of restriction and indulgence. But what if we shifted our perspective? What if, instead of banning certain foods altogether, we gave ourselves permission to enjoy them mindfully and without guilt? Instead of calling them treats, let's call them what they are: delicious foods to be enjoyed in moderation. When you do choose to indulge, savor every bite. Pay attention to the flavors, textures, and aromas. And most importantly, release any guilt you might be holding on to. Remember, food is meant to be enjoyed, and a balanced life includes savoring the things you love in moderation. When you give yourself permission to enjoy these foods mindfully, you take away their power. You break the cycle of craving and guilt, and you cultivate a healthier, more balanced relationship with food. In a world of instant gratification, it's easy to forget the incredible journey our food takes to reach our plates. But taking a moment to practice gratitude before eating can be a profound experience. It's about acknowledging and appreciating the interconnectedness of life, from the farmers who tended the land to the hands that prepared your meal. Before you take your first bite, close your eyes and take a deep breath. Reflect on the journey your food has taken. Visualize the sun, rain, and soil that nourished the ingredients. Think of the people who harvested, transported, and prepared your meal. You might even say a silent thank you to yourself for making nourishing choices. This simple act of gratitude shifts our energy. It transforms the act of eating from a mindless routine into a sacred ritual. It reminds us that food is not just fuel. It's a gift, a blessing, and a testament to the interconnectedness of all living things. In our fast-paced world, we often rush from one thing to the next, barely taking a moment to breathe. We gobble down our food while checking emails, scrolling through social media, or rushing off to the next appointment. But what if, instead of rushing on to the next thing, we paused at the end of our meal to savor the feeling of satisfaction? Once you've finished eating, put your fork down and sit quietly for a minute or two. Notice how you feel physically and mentally. Are you comfortably full? Do you feel energized and satisfied? This is a powerful practice because it helps you connect the feeling of fullness with contentment rather than discomfort. Often we associate fullness with that overstuffed, uncomfortable feeling, but when we pause and savor the feeling of satisfaction, we retrain our brains to recognize fullness as a positive sensation. Over time, this practice can help you develop a healthier relationship with food, one where you eat to nourish your body and mind rather than to numb out or seek comfort. We've all been there. It's 3 p.m. and suddenly you're hit with an intense craving for chocolate chips or something salty and crunchy. But before you reach for that snack, take a moment to pause and ask yourself, am I truly physically hungry, or is this an emotional craving? You see, we often eat for reasons other than physical hunger. We eat to numb out stress, soothe boredom, cope with anxiety, or simply because it's a habit. Learning to differentiate between emotional and physical hunger is crucial for breaking free from unhealthy eating patterns. So the next time a craving hits, pause and ask yourself, on a scale of 1 to 10, how hungry am I really? If it's a 3 or below, it's likely an emotional craving. Instead of immediately reaching for food, explore other ways to address the underlying emotion. Maybe you need to go for a walk, call a friend, or take a relaxing bath. Finding healthy coping mechanisms for stress and emotions is key to breaking the cycle of emotional eating. And there you have it, 10 mindful eating habits that can transform your relationship with food. Remember, it's all about tuning into your body and eating with intention. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more tips on living a balanced life. And as promised, here's a bonus tip on how mindful eating helped me manage stress and curb binge eating. By slowing down and tuning into real hunger cues, I learned to differentiate between physical hunger and emotional urges. During stressful days, pausing to check in with myself became a mini reset, reducing the urge to reach for comfort foods mindlessly. When a craving hit, I'd pause, rate my hunger, and take 3 deep breaths, often realizing I wasn't truly hungry. As a result, binge episodes dwindled, and even when I did indulge, it was with intention, not guilt. Over time, mindful eating became a powerful tool for emotional regulation and a kinder, gentler way to nurture my body. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.